Fellas, we back. I see Me's just got an Apple Watch.
I always had the Apple Watch.
Come on now. Now I think you got a Christmas, right?
Yeah, I did.
You did. You was happy. But what up, fellas? We back for episode 4 of Talking Noise Podcast. I'm with my boy Me's, my boy Harper. What's good, fellas?
What's going on?
Man, I'm good, man.
We back. We had some big news Friday, right?
What was the big news?
Come on, man. You know the big news. My boy birthday. Happy birthday.
Oh, shoot. I forgot. Oh, yeah.
Happy birthday. Yeah. We tried to throw that on the IG, man, but we was scrambling around. We couldn't get it made in time.
We gonna get you. We gonna put it on there and make sure.
Magic Johnson year. 32.
My boy B's birthday, man. What you do for your birthday?
I just took the family to the beach, and it was cold, so we didn't get no water, and we just kind of just ate, the food, and just kind of just walked around. But it was pretty windy and chilly. But I did have my mother-in-law with me, and so she sometimes got to watch our son. So we got to go out and at night and drink a little bit and things like that. So I'm much appreciated for that, and appreciative for that. And yeah, man. So that's all I did. Nothing too much.
Getting out in the pandemic.
Getting out.
It don't seem like it, right?
Right. It seemed like it's starting to go in. It's starting to end. So
yeah,
we'll see.
Harper, what you been on, man?
Well, speaking of that, I mean, this pretty much ended where I'm at. North Carolina said we done with this.
Oh shoot!
Everything's lifted, right?
Yeah, no masks, no nothing. We back to the Wild West.
I think some businesses will keep it. Obviously, you see Target today.
Oh yeah.
CVS and Walmart and some other stores that kind of like, if you fully vaccinated, then you don't have to wear your mask. But I think it's gonna be hard to kind of dictate who who not.
How do you determine that?
You got people making fake cards already. I think it was some bar owner that got arrested for making these fake cards.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I seen that.
We'll see. But I mean, once they open, I think just full throttle, everything's gonna be open, and you're gonna be pretty much back to normal.
I mean, people are so hungry to make so much money. So, I don't think people are going to even really care if you vaccinated or not. They just want the money, which I understand because you've been out of business, especially small businesses. So We'll see how it goes.
You know what we do in the beginning, man. My boy got to give some flowers. What kind of flowers you giving out this week?
Well, it was hard today, man. It was hard because it's a couple guys. I could have chose LeBron. He 25, but I didn't choose him. He had, he has the most 25 points per game, than anybody, But I'm not gonna go there. I gotta go up top to my New York Knicks, man. Tom Thibodeau and the New York Knicks. I gotta give them so much credit. Number 4 seed. Vegas had them at 22 and a half games to win this year. They are 41 and 31. They're number 4 in the East. They are my favorite team on the East right now. I mean, they play defense. Tom Thibodeau's his footprint is all on this team. And man, I'm just amazed. Top 5 defense. Julius Randle, he's an MVP candidate in some people's eyes. I'm pretty sure he's gonna get some votes. I mean, you got to give those guys credit, and I think they're going to beat the Atlanta Hawks. But I'll save that. I'll say that later. But yeah,
he already making predictions already.
Tom Thibodeau, Coach of the Year.
Do we need to skip to
Julius Randle, Most Improved.
No.
I got to tip my hat to those guys up there. Shout out to my boy Shamik. He's a real New York Knickerbocker, and I know he's crazy about him right now. Yeah, Woo. I got to shout out my boy Woo too.
They've been holding it down. I mean, they ain't had no success or playoff success since 2013. So I mean, hey,
you got to get them.
Good job.
And and one more thing. What makes it so special is that the majority of the roster is the same from the year before, besides Alec Burke and I think Nerlens Noel. But you still It's not even. It's not a,
they traded for
Derrick Rose, but it's not a big turnover.
A big difference maker on that team.
It's not a big turnover from last year, and so he's basically just turned this team around. Of course, he's added pieces: Taj Gibson, Derrick Rose, but you still got Quickly. He had in Quickly. Was Taj Gibson? He wasn't on the team.
He wasn't.
But he's playing a part on the team because Mitchell Robinson's out. But there you go. Tip my hat to the New York Knicks, Tom Thibodeau, Julius Randle. I see big things coming for these guys this year in these playoffs.
My boy, giving us.
And I'll get to that.
Harper, I know you got some flowers to give out.
Well, I feel like this is a little more than just flowers. I want to give out some gold jackets. So today, my flowers is for Kevin Garnett, the big ticket going into the Hall of Fame.
I was gonna mention that.
You know what I'm saying? One of my favorite players, one of the most intense basketball players of all time, something that these guys today need to look at and do some modeling of. But before I go away, since we're talking about Celtics right now, my boy, the truth, that everybody, the man they love to hate going into the Hall of Fame next year, first ballot. A lot of my homeboys who listen to the pod just didn't even think he was a Hall of Famer. I told him, I'll bet y'all whatever y'all want, he going in.
Oh, that's crazy. That's crazy.
He going in the first time.
Easy Hall of Fame. But don't forget, Tim Duncan inducted, and also the late Kobe Bryant inducted into the Hall of Fame of 2020. Shout out to Paul Pierce
as well.
Yes. Shout out to Paul Pierce, Tamika Catchings. Yes.
Oh, yes, Tamika Catchings.
Legend in the WNBA.
Oh, yeah. One of the best.
Which has started, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah.
Two buzzer beaters the first night in the WNBA. I don't know if y'all caught that.
Oh, yeah. I caught it. Tarasi
still got it.
And the other girl, is she a rookie? The other one? The other girl that hit that?
I think she's like a second-year player.
Oh, okay.
Something like that. She second or third or something like that. She ain't been playing too long.
But we still got to give out one more flowers. I think y'all missed it. Come on.
Missed it.
Last week I gave CP3 some flowers, right? This week another guy I'm hard on. Carmelo Anthony, he has moved top 10 all-time in scoring, passing Evan Hayes for the Washington Bullets. So congrats to Carmelo. A great score. Pretty much anything.
Very great.
Pretty much anything one-on-one, off the ball. He was it. But he just ain't have much success in the playoffs, and that's what I'm really big on. But you get your flowers today for top 10 all-time in NBA scoring, because that's pretty much all you can do, sir.
That's all he showed us.
I mean, am I lying?
I mean, I don't have an argument. I don't have an argument with you on that. So
another piece of news: Tim Tebow back in the NFL.
Hey, man,
he got picked up by
playing a position that he should have played 10 years ago.
I was telling somebody the other day, I said tight ends might be, no disrespect to the tight end, but that's like the position if you want to reinvent yourself, or if you want, most basketball players who ain't never played the sport, or they come in and they play tight end, that's where you go. And I think Tim Tebow, I mean, I don't know if he's going to, I'm not going to say he's going to do good, but I see some people have a problem with it. And I'm like, I mean, that just shows networking and staying in good relationship with people. That's what happens. I mean, you can't be mad at the man.
We'll see what happens and see how much productivity he's going to give to a team, knowing that he's 10 years removed from the league and is changing, and see if he still got that physicality to actually impact, catch the ball, because we can bring up some highlights of him catching. I mean, but, it ain't too impressive.
I wouldn't be surprised if he just a blocking like a used as like a blocking tight end. If he does if he does end up making the final roster, I wouldn't be surprised if he's like one of those guys that lines up in the backfield, might take, lead block, fullback, tight end, type blocking, just blocking.
I don't see him do that.
Coming out the flat maybe every once in a while, but if he makes the team.
I think he will make the team just because I'm not gonna say he helped make Urban Meyer, but he helped take Urban Meyer to the next level. I think what this is with Tebow, he gonna transition into coaching. I think, and this is his way in under his former coach.
I like that.
So
yeah.
I doubt he'll probably play a little bit. They might do a little wildcat stuff. I know he wants to still pass the ball,
right?
But I think this will be his way to transition into some type of coaching. That would be a smart move.
Yeah,
I agree.
We'll see. I mean, rookies reported, and I think some of the players reported today. So we'll see what happens. That's around the corner, so I got to get my fantasy lineups together and get right. But one more thing for the NFL, we had an Aggie who got signed by the Broncos, so I want to give him a shout out. Mac McCain the third, who got signed by the Denver Broncos. So congrats to you. Do big things. I hope you make that 53.
Yeah.
Well, fellas, we got to get into this show, man. A lot in store for episode 4. NBA playoffs are around the corner, and we need to talk about this play-in format. Do we think the play-in tournament is good for the NBA? What do you guys think? I have some opinions about this. Mark, do you think this is good for the NBA? Do they need to get rid of it? What's your thoughts?
No, I think it's great. At the least, I think it could possibly be expanded to an extent. I'm not really sure how that's going to work, but I love it. Like, you're looking at the marquee matchup that we're probably going to talk about more than any of these first-round matchups is this play-in game that may not eliminate either team, the Lakers and the Warriors. How many more times are we going to get to see those two guys, Steph and LeBron, play in a playoff? I mean, this is a playoff setting. How many more times are we going to get to see that before these guys is done? I don't think it's many. So the more times that we can see that level of basketball, I think it's always worth it. This is really helping the tanking situation. I mean, you've got teams now that the Washington Wizards, I'm sure they would have gave up 2 months ago. And they done fought all the way back because they had a chance. So this keeps a lot more teams interested. The Charlotte Hornets, who I also root for, they have a slight chance, but they still have a chance to at least make the playoffs. So it's exciting for a handful more teams that are always that right at 500 that don't tank and actually try to win. So it's kind of rewarding those teams.
Is it really rewarding?
Yeah.
I think it's like extra credit somewhat. You got so basically you got how many teams? 32, like 32 teams in the NBA, right?
30.
So you got half of the league gets a chance to make the playoffs. 20.
I mean, you got the whole league trying to make the playoffs through the first 82.
Yeah, but you know who's going to be in the top 8, and you know who's not going to be in the top 8.
Right, but you still. So last year have your 8.
Last year was a COVID season, right?
Right.
So when they stopped the NBA, they a lot of teams played this amount of games. This team played this amount of games, so it wasn't level, right? And so then you go into last season you had to have 4 games outside of the 8th seed,
right,
to actually have a chance to play at that play-in thing. You don't have that this year. You're just giving the 9 and 10 seed a chance to make the playoffs. And then you're saying that if I'm an 8 seed, right, and you got somebody that's in a 10th spot, that's 10 to 15 games out of the 8th spot, you giving them a chance. Listen, you giving them a chance to actually upset teams that been playing good basketball during the whole season and actually spoil their good regular season. You see what I'm saying? So I'm not a fan of. I can just come in. I can just make the 9th or 10th seed and still have a chance to make the playoffs. And then now it's going to be a cakewalk for your first seed or the 2nd seed. I don't think it's a good idea.
Okay, let's be honest here. How many? Now I don't have nothing pulled up, but I wish I would at this point. How many games do you think, on average, separate the eighth seed from the first seed every year in the playoffs? It ain't 2 games.
What you mean?
Talking?
Yeah, but how many teams? How many 7 to 8 seeds won the finals?
None.
Exactly. So it really don't matter.
What's the point of adding teams in there? Then at the end of the day, it's not going to matter.
But it's not affecting those teams who win during the regular season. I feel like, you got to think. It's okay. Now, it's not like these teams at the bottom are separated by 12 games or something. It's like 1 game for both conferences. It's literally like 1 or 2 games. And, I mean, every year, the AC in the East, I mean, they have a losing record. That's going up against the Cavs or the Milwaukee every year who win. How many games Brian averaged? Probably 60-some wins in the East. So you're playing a team that won less than 41 games anyway. So we still talking 15, 20 game difference finishing in a regular season. It don't matter for them teams at the bottom exactly, but it makes we're gonna have some exciting basketball tomorrow and Wednesday that I wouldn't normally gonna have until probably Saturday. I'll take
it. You will have it. You will have it. You will have it. It just won't be this kind of playing kind of thing. But obviously, they was affected. Most team that kind of bounced down was kind of affected by the whole injury, COVID, and things like that. That's why you're getting that excited thing.
And this gives you a chance.
So you want to. So if the Bulls, if the Pacers upset and get in the playoffs, you want to see them versus the Nets?
Okay, all right, that's true.
Well, the Pacers were like already kind of in the playoffs anyway, so they were already they were floating around that 8 seed anyway. Like,
no,
they got a better. They are
They were
Pacers
in there at the beginning of the season.
The 9th
dropped out. They've been out for the last 2 months. Now they got a chance to make the playoffs.
Okay, how about this?
Extra credit to get in there.
I don't see anything wrong with it. I think it's genius. Quite frankly, it's like Mark said, it's stopping teams from tanking.
It's about money.
I watched so much like I had such a great time yesterday watching all these teams play and teams actually fighting that usually wouldn't fight for something.
On the last game of the season.
On the last game of the season.
We had that in 2018. Without the play-in, when what was it? The Timberwolves in Denver when they went into overtime.
But I guarantee we're gonna have it every year.
We had exciting basketball team, so
I like it because if you're looking at the teams in the play-in, they're all like it's not separated. The wins aren't really that much separated. And then if you look at each team, it's like, okay, they all can be an 8th seed. At least, a 7th AC. It's not like it's the Timberwolves that's in the play-in. No disrespect to Timberwolves, which you are playing good basketball towards the end of the year. But
next year,
I like it, and I think that even with this, it was how many games they played this year? 72.
72. Yeah.
So we don't know who the Grizzlies could have easily been the 8th seed. The Lakers could have easily moved up to the 6th seed. The Warriors could have easily moved up or moved down. That's 10 games that they back. So I like it, especially for this year. And I think that they should keep it going. It makes exciting basketball. It's great. Who can look at, you see LeBron mad and Luka mad. That's because you only mad when you're in the 7th or the 8th seed, because which I understand you're a player. You don't want to play more games. You don't want to put more tax on your body. But as a fan, I love it. I love it. It's genius. And it's
Let me give you a scenario. LeBron gets hurt 2 weeks.
Whoa! We don't. Let's use somebody else, man. I don't like talking that.
I'm giving you a real life scenario that happened.
That ain't real life. Oh, it is. All right, go ahead.
I mean, he's injured now.
Right.
Come on.
He ain't injured.
So let's say LeBron and AD got hurt 2 weeks before they originally got hurt. Everybody would love this playing right now because they would probably be your 9th or 10th seed trying to make it back into the playoffs.
That's true.
Now imagine if the Lakers.
Okay. We don't need that.
There.
It happened. It's a part of the game.
They want LeBron in the playoffs. We gotta have LeBron in the playoffs.
I think this year, Derek, you gotta at least give him a break. This is the most
game in 2019.
The most injuries ever was this season. This is most injuries ever in NBA history. And that's because of the shortened season. I mean, give them a break. Give everybody a break this year. The player tournament is genius, man. It's genius.
Yeah, I love it.
It's all right, man. Well, I'm not a fan of it. I think it's kind of a waste. But I know it's the money aspect. I know it's the excitement that we get to see LeBron and the Warriors. We can only say that now because of all the other 72 things that happened in the season, COVID injuries, and things like that. So, I mean, we'll see what happens. Let's talk about some matchups in this play-in or whatever you want to call it. Let me bring this graphic up for y'all. So here we go. Y'all want to go with the East or the West?
Let's do East. Let's do East.
He want to talk about myself. So that's why.
Yeah, he do.
You see
I wasn't, but I mean, now that y'all say it, I was gonna start with the race to the whoever scores 130 first, the Hornets and the Pacers, because that's what it's gonna be. The race to 130, because the Pacers score and they don't play defense, so it's gonna be whoever get to 130 first, and I think the Hornets are gonna be that team. They got Bridges coming back. They got if they had Gordon Hayward, they'd be better. But I think with Bridges, I think with the Bridges back and with LaMelo Ball back, I think they have enough to beat the Pacers, who I don't think Miles Turner is coming back. And so without him, their defense has been terrible. Like, I watch Pacer games and they usually end in like the 120s every time. Like, if you were better, take the over on the Pacers most of the time, because they either gonna give it up or they gonna score it. And I mean, Karis LeVert's a great scorer, but he doesn't have the guys. TJ, they just have too many guys out, and I just see the Hornets winning that game. I got them coming out of that matchup.
I got the opposite, honestly. As much as I want the Hornets to win, I really want them to win. They've been struggling lately. Yeah, Miles Bridges, like you said, he coming back, but I mean, he's been out of action for like 2 weeks. I don't think he had COVID. I think it was just protocol, but I mean, he ain't played in almost 2 weeks. LaMelo is back, but I mean, I know y'all done seen him play a couple of times. He favors his hand every time down court. Like, he'll kind of twist and turn it. Like, it's still bothering him.
Right.
And then I don't even call it an elephant in the room at this point, because this is season 4 of this, but where's Gordon Hayward? What's wrong with you this year? I mean, you got another almost maximum contract, and you get hurt and you can't come back. It's
Scary Terry's been playing good ball though too, so that's why I think he's the guy that's gonna, for me, that takes it over the top. I think he adds that extra layer of scoring along with Devontae Graham off the bench, who can shoot it. He can shoot it. So I just think they got
the best player on the floor. So
definitely. No, I agree.
Yeah.
If Sabonis not there, I think Sabonis might be the best on the floor.
That's true too.
I forgot about Sabonis. My bad, Sabonis.
Yeah. I think he was injured. Well, he set out the last game of the season. I think so. Or maybe the last 2. So it all depends on health, man. A lot of these things, like, not healthy. And so
that's what it's going to come down to. Like, I think the whole playoff, whoever's going to win is going to be it's a war of attrition. It's going to come down to whoever is healthy at the end of the whole finals. I think, like, just the finals. I think that's what it's going to be. So, I mean, it's that seems like injury is the story of this year, and I think that's what it's going to come down to. It's not going to stop just because it's a playoff. It's not going to stop.
Yeah, we just need to see pretty much who going to be on the floor. For the Hornets, I mean, you got a young team, young coach. I don't think he got no playoff experience. Pretty much none of those guys, right? So
Scary Terry.
I think Rozier probably the most on that team with the most experience.
Gordon Hayward know how to clap. I mean, he can know how to clap in Eastern Conference Finals game 7. So
that's all he's gonna be doing. I mean, maybe he can get in that coach's chair too, right?
Right. I'm about to say maybe he can coach him up a little bit. That's about all. That's true.
He might fall out of that chair too.
I'm gonna get a Hornets the edge in this one. I mean, a team that actually plays together. I think LaMelo, even though it might be like his first real kind of play-in, playoff kind of type deal, you know, he's made for the lights, the big stages. Just from what we have saw right now. Now, that's not going to say that he's going to come out here and just go crazy and wild, but I think they have the most guys that's kind of, I guess, ready and the most chemistry on that team. I don't know if the Pacers players have gave up on that coach. We know reports came out that players didn't like him and things like that. Do they have enough? Miles Turner out. Can they have other pieces to step up? We'll see. So in this one, I'm probably going to give it to the Hornets just a little bit, but it's not much. You know, these are teams that, you know, I say shouldn't be in the playoffs. The playoffs really should be starting this week, but here we are in this play-in. So, and we'll see what happens. So,
but again, even with like the Hornets and the Pacers, like me said, Miles Turner is hurt. That dropped him down in the standings. When Gordon Hayward was healthy, they was like the 4th seed, a strong 4th seed before he got hurt.
The Hornets were playing good ball, yeah.
Yeah, like it's not fair to completely. I mean, this is a weird year.
Well,
Look how,
at one point, you said LaMelo was better than Gordon Hayward, right? So
I'll say that, right? I'll say that today on the podcast.
No,
he is LaMelo at least holding his wrist, running up the floor. Okay, I ain't seen my man play ball almost this entire calendar year. And what happened to him? What did he do? Sprain his ankle? What happened this time?
I forgot.
What happened this time?
It's been so long. It's been so many more injuries for everybody else. I don't even remember.
Who knows what happened? But he out. We know he out. What about that Celtics Washington matchup?
Y'all might not like me on this one.
Go ahead, man, because you got so much to say.
Tell the truth.
I gotta give it to the Wizards. I mean, the Wizards are just playing great ball right now. They're playing great ball. Brad Beal, Westbrook. Ever since Russell Westbrook he's got healthy and he's taken basically the lead of this team. They just been playing great ball. Daniel Gafford, though, I think is what's taking the Wizards over the top in this game. He's physical. Y'all aren't that
physical. He fits
well
with them. He fits very well with them.
I told Derrick the other day, I said, Daniel, y'all should have went for Daniel Gafford because that's the guy y'all need. And I didn't even see this guy. I didn't know Daniel Gafford play like that. But
then we drafted him and think we traded that pick.
Oh, maybe
and traded him.
But
I think so. That's what I think.
But the Celtics, y'all just aren't healthy. Y'all just aren't healthy. You don't have enough chemistry with Fournier, and Robert Williams can't stay healthy. Jaylen Brown can't stay healthy. I mean, well, he can't. He just had to forget. I don't want to say he can't stay healthy. He just got hurt. And
keep going through the list. Keep going.
It's been a crappy year for the Boston Celtics between COVID and injuries. I mean, it's just and I don't hold it against. I really don't. I hold it against you, but I don't hold it against the Celtics because it's not. You can't control COVID-19 and you can't control injuries as part of the game. And so, I mean, it's just, yeah. I kind of feel like Celtics, y'all as a fan base know that it's just like y'all just ready for next year. And I think the Celtics players are kind of the same, and that's the vibe I get. So
I think they more than we are, honestly, man.
So I got to go with the Wizards on this one, and and it's because of injuries. If not, the Celtics, if y'all weren't injured, if y'all had a full season to really, and it wasn't so much COVID and injuries, y'all would be a top 5 team, top 4 team, easy. But it is what it is, and so I still got you guys as the 8 seed. I just don't have y'all lose. I have y'all lose to the Wizards, but I don't think y'all are that. Y'all ain't bad enough to lose to the Pacers or the Hornets. So I got y'all as the 8 seed.
So I'll say this.
Not be that bad.
I'll say this. So I agree with you, Mees. I have us losing as well. I think injury or not, I mean, Westbrook, he on a tear. I mean, Bill is a little banged up,
right?
But he's gonna play. But beyond that, if we just had one guy on our team, I say outside of Smart, that had a little bit of the fire that Russell Westbrook has, I feel so much more optimistic about this team. That's again, I started the podcast talking about Kevin Garnett. Like, what happened to these guys? Do they not grow up with this edge anymore? Like, I don't understand why none of these guys have any kind of. I'll tell you what I don't want to see. And we've been talking.
You know why?
It's the AAU circuit. That's kind of got these guys.
Young, they grew up together.
They coddled by everybody now. You can't yell at them. And then I hate to say it, but it's a lot of single parent raised by their mother. So it's like you can't yell at my son. Don't yell at my son. You know, like so it's kind of like they don't. You can't talk to people. You can't talk to kids like they're gonna be ready to fight. Like you can't do that, especially the way KG talked to people. Oh my God.
Jeez, that's very sensitive. So I'll tell you what I don't want to see. So I got us losing this game as well and winning against the 9 or the 10. I would rather that happen because we're not going to make it out the first round, but I think it'll be a respectable matchup if we play the Sixers because we always play them well. We've been playing them for years. I do not want to see us win against the Wizards, be the 7 seed, have to play the Nets, and watch them hug and shake Kyrie Irving's hand after every 40 points he puts on us. I can't handle that. That to me is worse than us going out in the first round because like I can't stand that cat no more. But beyond that, like I just hate that they just have this infatuation with him where it's just like he gonna put 45 on y'all and send y'all home and y'all waiting for him after the game to shake his hand. I don't understand it.
Yep. I agree.
That's the generation today, and that's what they do. You know, when somebody leave your team that didn't do much for you. Kyrie didn't do much for the
nothing. He did nothing.
Like it's cool to be cool. Yeah, I agree. Like outside of basketball week, it's but when we step in those lines and you know. It's war, like, and that's how I mean. I was raised, you know, just like playing football in high school, things like that. Like one of my closest friends played on the other for my rival high school. You wouldn't think we was cool the way we would talk to each other during the game, but afterwards it's all love. But that's just how we were raised, that competitiveness, and it doesn't seem like you said, it doesn't seem like no. It's like, hey, what's up, bro? Good shot, you know, all this. You know, it's just like, nah, I don't want to. No, we can talk about that afterwards at dinner, you know, days later or something, you know. But leave it. No, right now. No, you know,
Means they want to make dinner reservations at half court.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Hey. That's what I swear they would. Hey,
where you going tonight, man?
What you doing later? I swear I be thinking.
Man, y'all got us tonight, man. I know we going home in the morning.
They got me a live tonight, man. Come pull up, man.
I'm sure that's what they do. But Derrick, what you got?
Bradley Beal will be a difference maker in the game. If he's not healthy, we saw that he aggravated something last game. If he's not healthy, I think we got a good chance to win the game.
I think it's gonna be a close game regardless.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be a close game. I think
y'all not gonna go out
the game. But I want to see how much. I always say this all year, and I've been saying this all year. We have a young bench. We need to see who's going to step up and actually play a good game and actually give us something off the bench. That's what we've been lacking most of the season. Yes, we had some COVID issues. Yes, we had some injuries and things like that, and no chemistry in our starting five. But we've been lacking hard from the bench players. We haven't had no consistency. And now people saying, "Oh, Neesmith coming on." Yeah, but you know, the first 35 games, you didn't give us much. And then we got Robert Williams. Oh, he's gonna be your new center, but you know he can't stay on the floor. So I think That's the Celtics.
Y'all need some vets.
Concern.
Y'all need some. That's what y'all lacking is you're lacking the balance of veterans and young and the young folk. You know, like the younger, you know, the youth. So it's just like it's kind of like y'all are very young people heavy. Like y'all don't have a lot of vets. So I think that's another thing too. And I agree. Y'all need some.
And that's what I've been saying, and Harper been saying it too. We should have traded those picks to get some veteran guys in on this team because you see what they did in the Suns, you see what they did in Philadelphia, Miami, you see what they did in the Bucks,
Philly,
and got some of these
every
guys.
team in the playoffs.
And how you see in that top three.
Yeah, the top seeds usually are bet heavy. They bet
NBA Lakers, even though y'all in the play-in, but y'all had some picked up some good pieces. And obviously it's been a crazy year, but you know, this is what we didn't do. We drafted 3 first-round picks last year, and now that's what we stuck with, and we don't have no really depth on this team. But we're gonna see, man. I'm not getting my hopes up because I've been optimistic all season about this team, but I have said I was gonna be choosing another team and finding somewhere else to take my talents because they are just this bad. They're not a good basketball team. And for these people out there, Neek, that keep saying Brad Stevens need to get some blame, cut it out.
No, he don't.
Stop
like,
it.
Yeah. No, he needs some blame. He do need a little bit of blame. He does. Because I'll say this.
Yeah, 5%.
And what you just said, Derrick, you just said the Lakers, they in the playing game. They shouldn't be a playing team. But again, now imagine they didn't have no veterans on that squad when AD and LeBron was both out. They probably wouldn't even been a 10 seed. You know, like it's so those veterans kept them afloat until they came back, man. I mean, that's what they're supposed to do. Keep the team together.
Exactly.
We got Butler running around out here. That's what our team is. This is Butler with Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown.
We got the Red Claws. Our G League team.
Man, right. I don't know what y'all see in Grant Williams. I don't know, but anytime I see Grant Williams, until I don't see Grant Williams on the floor, I'm like,
I've been telling him he's horrible. He don't know basketball.
He's terrible.
And I've been trying to tell Mark this for the longest, and
that's wrong.
Grant Williams is good. Grant Williams, and I keep showing him highlights of every game.
That's not what I say. That's not what I say.
Grant Williams don't belong in the NBA, man.
No, look. His size, athleticism, his body, he does not belong in the NBA. But why
I didn't know he was athletic.
No, he's not athletic. He's not at all.
Oh,
but he has a high IQ. Like he does know how to play the game. He just can't necessarily jump and run like these other guys. But he's pretty. As far as what to do on the floor, he knows more than all of the young guys on our bench. That's why he plays.
Yeah.
I mean, we can always put Taco Fall out there and see how that goes.
Boy.
I mean,
that's my boy.
He shouldn't be in the NBA.
Nobody would come in the middle.
He only in the NBA because we 7'5".
That's our secret weapon.
I hope. Okay.
Hey, look, when we go down by 20, which we will, even if we win one of these games, because we always go down by 20.
Every
Taco
game
coming in the game. I guarantee you, Taco coming in.
That's gonna be the spark off the bench. Well, a good thing is we are at home, so hopefully we can get the crowd in there and we can actually do something. We got some other matchups in the East, man. We can kind of move along, and so we can get to the West and get to those mighty Lakers led by the Finals MVP, LeBron James. But what matchup we want to go to? Knicks and Atlanta. I think you hit on that earlier, Mies. I mean, you are supporting the Knicks now, like you a fan. What's up?
Well, you know, my mom is from New York, so I think I got some ties with the Knicks. Okay. You know, but I like the Knicks in this matchup. I just think that defense, for one, and in the playoffs, defense is key, and they are a top 5. They've been a top 5 defensive team throughout the whole year. And I think the Atlanta Hawks, they're just so soft. They're so fragile. And so you got the New York Knicks, who are this tough defensive, gritty team. They come in, they gonna bump you, they gonna put you on the ground, they gonna play defense versus this finesse team who, if you ask me, is two teams that I think don't belong in the East that belong in the West based off their game. That's the Atlanta Hawks and the New York and the Brooklyn Nets. They're not a bump like the rest of these teams in the East. Like they can bang and they'll get dirty. They'll get their hands dirty. These two teams, they're not trying to get their hands dirty. Unfortunately for the Atlanta Hawks, they don't have the talent that the Brooklyn Nets have. So I'm taking the New York Knicks, 4-2. It'll take 6 games, but 4-2. Derrick Rose will take over along with Julius Randle, and it's gonna be a show, man. It's gonna be a low scoring series, and the Knicks are gonna pull it out.
Well, Atlanta got scores though.
A lot.
But the Knicks got defense, and that's why it's gonna be low scoring.
True.
And then the Knicks play very well at home, and the governor just passed letting 50% of the fans come into the building, and so it's gonna be more fans in New York. So the Nets and the Knicks are going to get
game, right?
Spike Lee courtside again.
Spike Lee in the game.
And if you vaccinated, they got like a vaccinated section where you can be all close and everything, and then they got an unvaccinated section, but they're allowing the Knicks in the stadium to allow how much of the non-vaccinated versus the vaccinated. So
yeah,
it's I like the Knicks, man. Right. And basketball is always better when the Knicks are winning in the playoffs. Well, y'all don't like it. Y'all are Celtics fans.
It is.
I mean, 2013 all the way to now. I think I enjoyed some great games, some great series. I mean, come on. Did you miss anything? Did you even know that? No. So let's stop.
I missed the Knicks.
Let's stop that.
I miss seeing Spike Lee on TV.
Good job, you in the playoffs.
The Knicks are like the Cowboys. I feel you, Mees. Like it's a lot of fans that don't get they say every year if they ain't good, and now they get to talk their junk because I hear it every day at my job.
They good every year. This is our year.
Their Knicks are delusional. They're in that delusional fan category.
This is our year. This is what we're gonna do.
But Mees, I agree. I got the Knicks in 6 games as well for the defense. The same. I mean, you hit it right on the head. Atlanta. They too of a finesse team, especially their point guard that y'all like. Tom Thibodeau, he gonna send some defense at that kid for them 6 games that he ain't never seen before.
Yes, sir.
And he gonna hit him with some traps and some looks that I don't think he can handle because Trae Young is almost a borderline great scorer, especially for how long he's been in the league, but he is not a good decision maker, and Thibodeau gonna make him make quick decisions down the floor every time.
I don't know who I want to go with. I think I'm leaning towards the Knicks because of the defensive side. We need defense, better coach. But I don't know. I mean, you got Trae Young, then you got Lou, then you got Collins, then you got Bogdan
and balling.
They got some
balling
over there, man.
They ain't defending nothing though. They ain't stopping nothing.
I mean, the Nets gonna defend something?
No, but they don't have to.
But the Nets, they not.
Yeah,
you come
but
on,
you're gonna
man.
Still need some defense. You still need some defense when you're going up against the Sixers and when you're going up against the Bucks and top teams. You're gonna still need some defense. So I'm saying you don't have to have that much defense, but you can play in spurts throughout the game. And so in the last 4 minutes, when you need that stop, you can. Only thing you need is that one stop, and then hopefully you can go down there and get a bucket. So I don't know, man. We're gonna see. I know that Thibodeau got some plans for Trae Young. How much it will stop him, who knows? I ain't gonna say he got Steph Curry range, but he can shoot.
He do.
He can shoot.
He likes to think so.
Yeah,
he do. He got Curry range
with them. So, and then I like they makeup of their team. Nick McMillan, that's the coach name, right? He got them boys playing at a different level from when he took over. Probably gonna get the head coaching job after this season. So, I'm gonna say that the Hawks will win this series in 7 games.
It's going to 7.
I'm going to say 7. the big advantage is the Knicks do have home court advantage, so that's something to look at. But I mean, you think about firepower from Atlanta Hawks. Derrick Rose, I mean, he's shifty, he can score, but when you think he's a striker at a shooting, no, we still.
Derrick Rose is gonna abuse Trae Young.
He's going to turn up.
But you might not have him on Trae Young. You might put.
You can throw RJ Barrett on. I'm pretty sure they're gonna throw RJ Barrett early on Trae a little bit. Yeah, that's the guy that they usually throw on the perimeter. Your best perimeter scorer.
I think he's the wild card of the series because I think he is really talented. I just don't think he's unlocked it all yet.
Right.
But if they unleash him, if he figures it out, I think it's gonna be over in 6. But Trae Young, you gotta hide him. He's like Kemba Walker, Isaiah Thomas. Like, this is the playoffs. They are going to find him.
Yes,
find them.
They're going to. And Tom Thibodeau don't like sugarcoat.
But
he don't retry.
Like he down there that kind of can help him if he get beat off the dribble.
I don't trust
Williams. Okay.
Huh? Collins and Capella too. They still got Capella too.
Lou Williams. Collins ain't no rim protector, is he?
I mean,
he's a rim runner.
No.
On the offensive end, but on defense,
Collins is an offensive talent. He's not as much as a defensive talent. He's
Bogdan, he ain't playing no defense. I agree with you, man. It's gonna be tough for Atlanta to win this series.
Bogey gonna get abused.
7 games, Atlanta.
We know Lou Will ain't no defender. Yeah. Like they're an offensive team. That's what I say. They're a West Coast team in the East.
Both games in New York, then what?
They not. And I mean, and then let's not to mention that the Knicks fans are everywhere. So they'll be in Atlanta too. It ain't like they just not gonna be only be in New York. They gonna be in Atlanta too. The Knicks fans are everywhere. You know what I mean? New Yorkers moved down to Atlanta.
Yeah, you know that.
But half my family on my mother's side live in that area. So it is what it is, man. The Knicks that's the Falcons. I mean the Falcons. Sorry, the Hawks aren't the team that's going to take out the Knicks. They're not tough enough.
Football, you want to go to the Nets? I mean, boy, where your mind at? We got what? Hold on, let me see what else we got here, man.
Bucks Heat on the East. That's who we can talk about.
Yeah, I think this year it ain't gonna go like last year.
Definitely,
Giannis got that in his head, and that ain't gonna end like it did before, bro. I think this year, maybe the Heat will get a game off of them. You know, they've been affected by injury and COVID and stuff, and they've gotten it together like they did last year. Everybody except for Tyler Hero, who ain't really look like the same player this year. But Giannis, he on a mission. He gonna take that series personally, even if no other. But he cannot lose to them again. He cannot.
Well, I agree.
He ain't gonna allow them to lose.
No.
I mean, he haven't really got much buzz this season, but he's still putting up the same amount of numbers as his two MVP seasons. Dang, now I can't talk. Mees, thank you. And just the way they've been playing together, Drew Holiday was a big pickup. You know, another defensive guy, Lopez. And then you got Middleton. Hopefully, he can show up and kind of keep the sparkle, the all-star status that he has in the regular season. Because sometimes in the playoffs, he don't be, showing up. And then the makeup of the team of him getting some shooters around Giannis, and that he kind of struggled earlier this season. They were kind of down there in the 11, 12 seed, and then they kind of picked it up late. And then it's pretty much about matchups. And, Bam, he's another undersized guy, but he plays like a, real big guy in the middle and actually can somewhat stretch the floor in that mid-range areas. But you can put Giannis on him, or you can put Lopez on him. So I think the Bucks got the advantage on the front end, and most of the scores pretty much on both sides of the ball. So we'll see what happens. The Heat just got to come out and bring it. But they play good defense though. I like what they do. They kind of sag in the middle of the paint and then kind of off. It's like a little man zone and kind of help. So I think, like Mark said, it won't be the same series as last time. I want to give it 6 to the Bucks, but I want to go 5, but I'm gonna give 6 to the Bucks, 4-2. Them winning. I want to put the Bucks in the finals, but I'm gonna just wait on that.
I like the Bucks too. I like the Bucks, and I think it's Drew Holiday. He's the X factor. He takes the ball out of Giannis's hands. Last year, Giannis was trying to push the ball up the floor, and then they got this wall built for him. Now you got Drew Holiday. He can slow it down. They can run a half court. Giannis can set up and he can get his shots and he can do what he needs to do versus having to try to be this point forward, which I don't think he can be. He's not a point forward. He should be treated as a center. If they put shooters around Giannis and put him in the paint and let him work, and if they double, he kick it out, you shoot, he would be great. And I think that's what they're somewhat are going to, because Drew Holiday, now you're taking the ball out of Giannis's hands, and it also takes pressure off of Middleton with Drew Holiday as well, which I think will help him. So I'm going with the Bucks 4-2. I think the Heat will fight. There's some dogs. It's going to be a tough series, but I just think that they haven't quite put it together. Tyler Hero, like Mark was saying, he's just, I don't know what I guess he's just so in the stardom fandom. I mean, he's just on this whole nother realm or whatever. Got the song get named.
The women in his face.
Right. Yeah. So, I mean,
and
then Duncan Robinson hasn't been what he was really. I mean, he's not looked as good.
When they play the Celtics and see the Celtics in front of their jersey, they'll turn up then.
So I love Bam. Bam is, to me, he should be first team all defense. But I don't think he's going to be able to contain Giannis, but I think Giannis will be able to contain him. And I'm going with the Bucks. And Jimmy Butler, I love Jimmy Butler, but he just talks this whole tough, but he just hasn't been playing like that. You know, he'll talk all this toughness and then he'll sit out. He'll be out a game, you know what I'm saying, for rest and things like that. So I'm just not sold on Jimmy this year. And it's kind of not his fault. He had a short season. He did play in the finals last year. This was the shortest season, so I understand, but I'm just not. I'm not sold on the Heat this year. So give me the Bucks in 6.
Bucks in 6. All right. Well, we got to get to that Western Conference, man. We'll see the rest of the matchups. Hopefully by the end of this week, right, for Philly and Brooklyn. Obviously, Philly, the top seed. Let's go to the Western Conference. Let's talk about. Let's just get right to it, man. Memphis and San Antonio. I mean, Memphis. You know, I don't know who I want to pick in that series. Like they should.
Pop.
I'm going with Pop and DeMar all day long.
Yes.
And they score. Like the Spurs score point. Like they score. So I mean, I think Pop going to draw up a game plan to contain, to keep Ja, somewhat contained. And I don't know. And actually, what's the guy, the center they have, Portal? He's a great center. He's a great defender.
Yeah, he's pretty good.
Yeah.
He's a great defender. So I mean, they're good low key. And I like the Spurs. I just think that the Grizzlies are still young, and they do stupid stuff, and they make mistakes. So
young.
Give me the Spurs. I'm taking the age in the playoffs all
what
day.
You got? How many games?
Oh, I didn't even. That's the play-in.
Oh, you're right. That's playing.
But I got them losing to the Warriors. I just think, So I got Lakers 7, Warriors 8. I think the Warriors they're a good team. They're not better than the Lakers. It's gonna be close with the Lakers. I'm scared of the Warriors. Now, every time I think about it.
So whoever win that game pretty much moved to play the loser of the 7 to 8 seed.
Right.
And then whoever loses the 9 and 10, they pretty much out and done for
they out.
Cancun up there, right?
I think that game is DeRozan's, probably like DeRozan's last hurrah as the best player on the team. Because I think after this year, he'll be traded and he'll probably be a high-level third option or something like that.
Hopefully on my Celtics.
It's possible, but we'll get to that another day. But I think they would definitely beat the Grizzlies because the Grizzlies have kind of fell off. What's the kid, Jaren Jackson? He keeps getting injured, man. I like him a lot.
Yeah, he's
really good.
A lot. DeJounte Murray too. DeJounte Murray's
yeah, he's came back strong. I just feel like there's a lot more. I mean, you still got Patty Mills, and you know how he play in the playoffs.
Patty a dog.
And yeah, I just think it's too much on the Spurs side of it as far as experience. And then, I mean, again, with Greg Popovich, you know, he's going to draw something nice. And, you know, they're not going to lose that game.
Right.
Yeah. We'll see. I ain't got no prediction on that game. I mean,
here we go.
You ain't got no prediction.
I ain't got no prediction, man. I ain't got no prediction, but we know it's another playing game. This is the one we really wanted to talk about.
That's why I'm drum rolling. Let's get
that out the way. Lakers and Golden State, the one y'all been hyping up because it's a playing game and it's gonna bring all the people out and things like that. Mees, obviously you're a Laker. Well, you're not really a Laker fan. You're a LeBron fan.
Let me ask you a question real quick. Let me ask Mees. Now I know it's been 2 weeks, and you told me it was a storm coming after we ended our last podcast. It was a storm on the way.
Sunny. It's been sunny for a long time.
Now,
it was a setback.
Did you think y'all would make it to this play-in? Did you think that was in y'all's future?
No, I didn't. I didn't think. Well, I didn't know how long LeBron was going to be out, but I didn't think that we were going to get this low. I thought we would stay around the 6 or the 5 or the 6 seed. But that's credit to the Mavericks and the Trailblazers because I didn't think that they were going to catch us. I thought they would lose. You know, I knew we were losing, but I thought they were going to lose too, and it was all going to kind of even out. But I mean,
it almost worked out.
Now I'm happy where we are. I mean, I'm not happy. I would rather be I am happy because I don't think that the Lakers are going to lose to the Warriors. It's going to be close. I'm scared of Steph Curry. It's one game. He could definitely pop us in one game. But I trust the Lakers. I trust Frank Vogel and his ability to draw up a game plan to somewhat kind of contain Steph. We are the number 1 defensive rated team. It ain't like but the Grizzlies. We not the Grizzlies. We got some defenders. We gonna throw bodies at Steph. And by the way, I like the Lakers to win.
No, I said who you like, by the way, which is the Grizzlies. Don't be talking like the Grizzlies like that.
I do like the Grizzlies, but I mean, we talking about they're a 15. They're like number 15 in defense or something.
Telling me this playoff time.
This playoffs, like it's bro, like it ain't go. We ain't gonna let Steph just. Andrew Wiggins gonna have to have the game of his life.
So, I will say this. Hold on now, Mees. Now I will say this. I will not be surprised if Steph has 45, 50 points.
Oh, no. And that's the thing. If he does have that and he beats the Lakers, I wouldn't be surprised. Neither. I wouldn't be surprised because it's Steph Curry. It's one game. You know what I'm saying? And it's not like, it's Steph Curry. He's freaking amazing. So,
to me, this is something that me and Derrick, I saved this. I didn't text y'all about this because I wanted to just get your initial reaction. So I posed the question to Derrick, and I don't think he completely agreed with me. But I feel like it would be more beneficial for y'all to lose to the Warriors. This is also why this play-in stuff is good because these last 2 seeds can kind of still pick who they want to play to an extent. Right. I mean, if you're that much better, you can't. Right. To me.
So lose on purpose, pretty much. Lose on purpose. That's what we paid to see.
Yes, a good point.
Well, teams do that anyway. They tank and they pull like you see what happened.
You're in the playoffs.
You see what the Clippers and the Nuggets did.
Yep.
You're in the playoffs now. Let's play.
They got the pick.
Why does it matter who you play? You in the playoffs.
Derrick, you know it matters. I'm gonna tell you right now why it matters. We've been praising Chris Paul. He deserved it. Turned the Suns team around. How sad is it gonna be? Fall to get these 1 or 2 seeds. That's usually is a reward in the playoffs. You're going out in the first round. If the Lakers beat Warriors, the Suns are going home in 5 maybe possibly 6 games, Derrick.
We don't know that. We don't know that.
We don't know how much. You always say you want to bet some money.
We don't know how.
You want to bet?
No, I don't want to bet. I don't want to bet. But we don't know how much LeBron is still leaving games, guys. He is still leaving games. He's saying he's all right, but that's not true.
What game he leave?
He just left the last game against the Pelicans.
He should have been out anyway. We was up.
He should have been out. But
then that was for precaution.
He left and he got everybody talking about this ankle. And he had to.
They gonna talk about anything LeBron do.
He actually turned his ankle in that game. I don't know if you did. Yeah.
That's why he left the game.
That's why I'm saying I don't know how much percentage he's going to be healthy for him to actually play to that level that we know LeBron can play to. AD will have to carry this team this year. He will have to be the leader of the Lakers and get them to the next level and move. He hasn't done that in his career. And so this is going to be a test for the Lakers to see what they can do to get past good teams and good built teams that have been playing good together all season. It's not as easy as you think it's going to be, Harper and me. I'm trying to tell you.
I didn't say it was going to be easy. It'll be a tough 5 game series.
He talking about you want to bet.
It will be easy.
But the Suns won't. If the Lakers beat the Warriors, which I think they will, and they play the Suns. The Suns, they are a
terrible matchup for the Lakers.
They are a terrible matchup. They don't have playoff experience besides Chris Paul. That matters.
And that's only second round experience, Derrick.
But listen, do you want to play a fast-paced Suns when you're not healthy, or do you want to play a slow-paced Jazz?
I'd rather play the Suns, honestly, because the Jazz have played.
Scared of Rudy?
No, I'm not scared of Rudy, but the Jazz can shoot it. They can shoot it like
I'm more scared of Rudy than Ayton.
Yeah, Ayton. Give me Ayton. He don't play no D. I rather
AD should score 30 a game.
I think Drummond had 20 and 10 on him.
Right,
Drummond. So I mean, I rather play the Suns than the Jazz because you got Rudy Gobert in the middle. Honestly, that is true. Rudy, he can defend. He can protect the rim, and then you got D. Mitch coming back. You got Jay Clark off the bench. You got Mike Conley can shoot it. You got all them guys. Bogdan, the other Bogdan can shoot it. They got pieces. They got a lot of depth. Versus, to me, I'd rather have Javon Carter and Etuan Moore and Cam Johnson and them out there shooting it versus them. So
this takes us back to episode 2. Devin Booker, Donovan Mitchell. That I know you got Chris Paul out there, but I don't want to play Mitchell. You see what he did last year in the playoffs.
Yeah, but Mitchell, when the last time Mitchell played, though? When the last time Mitchell played?
That's true.
That's true.
That don't mean he 100% right now. So
it don't.
Do you want to play a streaky and hot team right now, or do you want to play a team that I guess your top 2 player? You can go whoever you're talking to. You can go Rudy or Mitchell. One of your top 2 players are hurt, and your best score off the dribble. So, like I said earlier in the pod, health will matter this year.
That's true.
Yeah.
Whoever can stay healthy the longest, that's who's going to elevate and move to the different level.
Who y'all got for Lakers Warriors?
Say what now?
I'm about to say, who do y'all have for Lakers Warriors? Who y'all have?
I got Lakers winning.
Yeah,
got Lakers winning. I think Steph is hot. He's putting on the show. I think we in for a treat. Get your popcorn, get your snacks, get your candy.
It ain't gonna
matter. You don't want it to matter because then y'all say this is what we want in the play-in. This is what you want.
No.
I hope it's a blowout.
I'm talking about even if Steph is hot, if he scores 45, I still think the Lakers can win by 10 plus.
Right. Yeah. Because the other guys got to come to play.
They have nothing else.
Yeah, they have nothing else.
It's amazing that they have got to this point.
But they're eighth. What keeps them in most games is their defense.
They have.
I looked at the defense. They're eighth ranked defense.
Andrew Wiggins has elevated his game a little bit this year. I mean, it ain't much, but he's been playing better than any season.
Okay.
And he's a pretty decent defender, right? On ball defender too.
You got a Hall of Famer, as y'all say, Draymond Green. That's
my Hall of Famer.
Shouldn't
He is
he?
a Hall of Famer.
Oh no,
Damn, you're talking crazy now. You're talking noise now. You are
Yeah,
talking
he is.
noise.
If you look at his resume with his college, because you know they do add college into the resume. That's how Grant Hill got in there.
I'll say this is easy to get in, so he'll probably be one. First ballot, I don't know.
Derrick,
how about that?
Speaking, I know we're talking playoffs right now, but Derrick, how do you feel about Ben Wallace going in the Hall of Fame before Rasheed Wallace? Your favorite player?
Ben, a 4-time defensive player. He was elite at his position. Would you call as far as a center and what he gave to a team? And I'm talking about the defensive end. I know he didn't give you much on offensive end, but
at that time, that's all that the center was required to do for him.
What he did against Shaq.
Oh yeah,
and that final. Come on. But hopefully Rasheed get in there on the sometime. Who knows?
But see, they doing Rasheed dirty because
they always getting on because I like Rasheed Wallace. KG was actually my guy too, but that's a different story for a different day. But Ben, you would say Ben would get in before Rasheed just because of the Rasheed wasn't like this big, he wasn't big at much for like an offensive play. You didn't think about Rasheed as a top 5 power forward, did you? You didn't think of him as a big defensive player. Ben Wallace was elite at defense. He won.
I got so much to say about this. Like this really right here, and I know we on this pod. This really should be a topic for a podcast because the NBA Hall of Fame is the easiest Hall of Fame.
It's not. It's technically not the NBA. The NBA doesn't have a Hall of Fame.
You're right.
Yeah,
basketball. You're right.
Basketball. So that's kind of why.
I don't think Ben Wallace went to college.
Now he went to. I think he did
like a D2 or something like that.
It wasn't
like that. Yeah.
So
we got to say that for another day because that's I don't know.
Oh, definitely we can talk about that. And try to get on. Do we got any more? We got some other series we need to get on.
We got the Nuggets Blazers.
Blazers
series.
That is an interesting series.
I like the Blazers. I like the Blazers. I got the Blazers winning in 6 games. I think that with Jamal Murray out, it's not going to be fair in a sense. I like Jokic. He's the MVP to me this year, but he can't close games. I watched him of late. I watched him in particular the next game. I watched him. He had like 2 or 3 opportunities to close that game out, and instead of going for the basket, he's crying for a foul. And in the playoffs, they ain't gonna give you those calls like that, bro. Like you gonna have to go hard to the basket, and he's not built like that. And then they guards, they don't have guard play. The Nuggets guard play is not elite enough or to guard CJ and
Porter Jr. guard.
And so he ain't gonna be able to hold Dame. But no, he's technically the small forward. It's who is their starting? Campazzo and Austin Rivers and I don't. They're not starting, but those are the guards. Monte Morris, like you're not going to be able to sustain Dame and CJ, and they have a lot of. It's not like they're just like some team that doesn't go to the playoffs, so they have deep playoff experience. They know how to do it. They know how to win. Nurkic will be able to somewhat. I don't want to.
That's your problem. That's your issue right there.
He'll do a decent job. I mean, well, you don't even need him.
You need more than decent.
Jokic can go off. You just have to worry about Michael Porter Jr. And I don't trust Michael Porter Jr. Gonna have to show me in the playoffs what he about. You can do this regular season thing. Show me what you about because he's the guy that's gonna have to. Because Jokic is a given. But somebody else is going to have to show up for them to win.
But see, to me, that's what the issue is going to be here because Dame and Jokic are going to somewhat cancel each other out. So then it leaves you to CJ, and I guess Michael Porter Jr. is going to have to step up.
Who you trusted? Who you I'm taking CJ. Easy out of them two.
I'm taking CJ. I am taking CJ, but
to come through.
I do feel like Michael Porter Jr.'s ceiling is higher. CJ, And he has shown it a little bit this year. Like he has shown it. And then they got the
Murray
new
been
guy.
out.
Yeah, since Murray been out, like he's been
another guy that was in my top 10 under 25, which y'all didn't have, but that's a different story.
Oh, no, but I'm talking about in the playoffs. I know CJ gonna get his, like CJ know how to go get to his spot and get his bucket when it's time to do it. And I don't think Michael Porter Jr., he's not there yet. Like he's gonna be forcing stuff that shouldn't be forced. I think he's just gonna go into that fight or flight. I think that's the term mode where it's just like everything that you've been doing this regular season, now it's playoffs. I gotta score. And I think he's just gonna just do whatever he has to do. And it's not gonna be good shots. It's gonna be a lot of shots, and it's gonna mess up the whole Nugget swing. And I'm going with the Blazers, man. This is like the best matchup for them.
Two things in this matchup. Two things. Actually, maybe three. You got the MVP Jokers, right?
Right.
You got probably the best clutch player in NBA right now, Dame, right?
Right.
It's debatable. Yeah.
Dame.
Well, let's say regular season. Yeah.
I mean, he's ended some playoff series. Did you not?
No, that's true. He has. I apologize, man. I forgot. Yeah. He has. Come
on. So, Dame knows when he needs to score. He knows how to score wherever. He knows when he don't have a shot, he can kick it out, and hopefully, those players, step up and hit some shots.
Right.
They have a good balanced team. But what is it going to come down to? Coaching. I don't trust the Blazers coach.
Yeah, he's not a good coach.
And I think after they lose this season, he's gonna be gone, which he should have been gone 2 years ago.
So they already been talking about it. So
that's gonna be the big difference in this series. Obviously, it's gonna be a really, really, really good series. I think it's gonna go 7 games, maybe 6. But it's gonna be a really, really good series. Nuggets got home court advantage, right?
Yes.
Nuggets got home court advantage, so that's gonna play a favor in it. Don't let the Nuggets steal one in Portland. So
Portland's tough to play.
Those are some of the things to look at. Obviously, Joker's gonna give you what he's gonna give you, and he's gonna get other people involved. But how much of the other players, with Murray being out, we know that you did something when he went out. You went on this 6-1, 7-1, 9-2, things like that. But now it's playoff time. You're playing a good team in Portland, a good balanced team, I would say.
On one end of the floor,
I'm saying as far as your point guard all the way to your center, and then the depth on the bench. That's what I'm saying. Balance, not so much both sides of the floor, because we know Melo. I'm not even gonna go there.
The whole entire Blazers team plays no defense.
Trailblazers were the number. I don't want to say number. They were a top 5 worst defense in NBA league history this
Celtics
year.
probably in that too.
No, y'all weren't. No,
we ain't that bad.
It was like 2 or 3 teams from this year that were in that like all-time worst defenses. It was like I think the Kings and the who did I just say, the Blazers were 2 of them for sure.
Yeah. So
it's gonna be tough when you got guys like Covington, who, I mean, he's not really much of an offensive player, and then his defense hasn't been that good lately. It's gonna be tough with him and like a Cantor, who, I mean, we know Cantor can rebound and he can score the ball a little bit, but I mean, he is a net negative on the defensive end.
Terrible. Those
are 2 of their key contributors, so it's gonna be tough. And then Melo, like we just said about him, I mean, he's top 10 in scoring. That's about all we can say. So it's gonna be tough because those guys gonna have to play.
Yeah, it's gonna be high scoring.
It's going to be a high scoring game.
Definitely high scoring game. What else we got out here, man?
Nuggets in 7.
Wow. Nuggets in 7.
Nuggets in 7.
We got the series. I think this is the series of the.
So the East series was the what would we say? The top series.
It
all depends. we gotta wait until all the other ones come. I think.
I mean,
we can.
Because it might be the Wizards.
It's gonna be
it might
blood
be
in that series.
Yeah, or I like that Wizards Nets if they meet up. If they meet up, I like that Wizards Nets thing. I just like that Russ KD thing, and Russ. You know how Russ gets when Russ is like Russ don't take no prisoners. He gonna talk trash to
Gentlemen sweep. That'll be a gentleman's sweep.
Oh yeah, it probably will. I actually got it 6 games. I actually got it going. If that does, hypothetically, that's 6 games. But that Clippers Mavs is the it's so many things. I have the Clippers 4-3, 7 games. But the more I was just researching today, just looking at the Mavs and the matchup, I mean, the Mavs can win this, man. Like, they have what it takes. It's just so many things. Kawhi's foot, I don't know what he's doing with that. And then Kristaps Porzingis, to me, him and Hardaway are kind of like twin X factors, because if Kristaps Porzingis, we never question his game. It's not his game that's in question, it's his health. So if you get a healthy Kristaps Porzingis, he's arguably can be the second best player on the floor at any point in time. And so it's just so many things on both ends. I got the Clippers because of Rondo and what he can bring to the Clippers, and he can take the ball out of Kawhi and PG's hands and get them better shots. But there's nobody that can guard Luka Doncic, man. And I mean, Luka's he's amazing. So I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know, but I'm just gonna go with the Clippers because they got the experience. They got Kawhi Leonard, they got Rondo, and then nobody knows what Paul George is gonna do. But I expect him to show up this year, so we'll see. So that's why I got.
We're gonna say we've been saying it for a couple of years now, but I agree with you. I think he's gonna actually step up, and he knows what he got to do. He hears the talk, the media, everybody's talking about the playoff P and all this other stuff and what he needs to do. He needs to come out and be prepared. But when you look at last year's series, I think Dallas won that first game, right?
Yeah.
Dallas won that first game. And it wasn't like it wasn't easy for the Clippers to just come in there and thinking they just gonna just watch them boys. And then I think Porzingis got hurt the second game, or maybe he might have went out the first game.
He got ejected the first game. Got hurt in both. That's another he got ejected the first game. He got into it with Marcus Morris or Trez or somebody, and then for Luka. And then he got hurt the second game.
Okay,
and they were balling. He was balling that first game too.
So yeah, I think this might be this is gonna be a great series. It might go get 7 games. We're gonna see what happens. Clippers need to get Ibaka back. Rondo will help kind of facilitate some things on that offensive end. Playoff Rondo and be a leader for them boys. But Luka, this is what he loves the most. And what he loves. Like I said about LaMelo, just the spotlight and the whole media been around him, just walking around, his father putting that on him. But we talking about Luka, who's been playing since 16, 15 years old, 13, with professionals. And now he's we saw what he did and hit that game winner last year, and just doing what he's been doing this year. So this is gonna be a good series, man. It's gonna be some good basketball. What will Ty Lue do and game plan he will put in place to actually stop Luka? Why are you laughing? Because it's funny, right? Yeah. What will Tyler do in the game plan he's going to put to kind of stop Luka? And if Porzingis can give you 20 plus or whatever he can give you, even 17, 18 minutes. Yeah. If he can give you that, but I was talking about points. But if he can give you that, then maybe we're going to have a game 7 series, fellas.
So I'm kind of going the other way with this because of some points y'all just made. if the Clippers for one lose or really struggle in this series, Paul George is gone next year. He's gone.
Oh, yeah.
They signed him to that extension this summer, I think, with the intentions of that. So like now he's signed for like 3 or 4 years. So he will definitely be traded if they lose this series. He is not gonna let that happen. He cannot let that happen against this team. I didn't even know Porzingis was playing. I couldn't tell you the last time I really seen a highlight with him. It sucks that he's not healthy because that Dallas team would be very good if he was at his peak. But I don't think it's gonna go quite like it did last year. Like Luka is Luka. Luka's gonna have some good games, but it's just gonna be too much. It's gonna be too much this year. And if Kawhi and Paul George don't understand, they didn't learn anything from last year. Y'all can't stick Rondo and Marcus Morris on Luka. One of y'all have to guard him, or he is going to.
But they can't. They can't. Like nobody on the Clippers team can guard Luka Doncic. It's not a soul.
They were guarding him last year.
Yeah, it was like he had too much confidence at that point. Like it was like game 5, and y'all decide, all right, I guess we better throw somebody on him.
Yeah, I mean, he just gonna put it over above the rim. Over the top, pow, lob. Like it's Luka's smart, man. I mean. I don't know. That's tough. But I got the Clippers, but it's tough. Man. I wouldn't be surprised.
I'm leaning towards the Clippers, but I wouldn't be surprised if it was an upset.
I wouldn't be surprised. I just don't. I don't know. And then, like I said, Kawhi's foot. We don't know what injuries are like. I don't know what is up with Kawhi. I don't know if his foot's gonna be.
I don't even think
Ibaka
no more injured than LeBron. Now,
Ibaka, yeah.
Ibaka is hurt. Yeah, they need him. Like he's
definitely need him. Yeah.
Because if KP's playing, then you're taking Zubac. Zubac can't play if KP's.
But you got Cousins, so they'll be all right.
He played for them now.
Yeah, he do. Boogie can't get on that floor if KP on there because KP gonna stretch it, and you gonna need Ibaka to stretch the floor.
Both of them gonna be in suits on the side.
By game 3. Leave them boys alone, man. Leave them boys alone, man.
So it'll be an interesting. It'll be interesting.
A lot to talk about, man, over the next couple of weeks. NBA playoffs is here, man. I can't wait for my Celtics to be in Cancun. I might buy a flight just to meet them now.
See if we can see them there.
Yeah. See what so who's throwing the party, right?
Yeah, it's probably gonna be Tatum. I'm sure because
he gonna take Deuce with him.
Oh, he go everywhere else. He definitely go everywhere. Hey,
look, y'all in the play-in. You talked about us all year, but y'all in the play-in too.
I mean, but we got a chance to actually win it all. Still, y'all just a placeholder, man. Come on.
Now we got to
be honest. I'm gonna be honest.
Again, when was the last time a 7th or 8th seed won the championship?
Yeah, I just don't see it. This.
You know, they said that that 2016. I remember people saying,
"Don't you say it."
When we was down 3-1.
Let's end it now. Let's end it now.
It's over. And you see what happened, man. So when it's LeBron James involved, man, I just let it play out, and I see where the chips fall because he can. He's just that great. Where he
singing the song, ain't
he? I mean, I'm just telling you the truth. Y'all seen it. You seen what he does. He can carry anybody to the finals. So I mean,
he can.
He can, but he been hobbling off that floor an awful lot, man. It's when he came back.
The last 3 games he played, though. The last 3 games he played, he left.
No, he didn't.
Yes, he has.
No, he didn't. The game against the Pacers, he ain't leave. He closed them boys out. He gave the benediction. He closed them out.
One game.
And
then
he
did leave for halftime.
The games before then, he was testing out his ankle because there's not the league isn't practice.
No, he wasn't testing that ankle. They needed him. He needed to play.
You don't have practice. They don't get the practice. So the practice is on the games this year. Really, that's for like all the teams. So he was testing his foot out.
The game after that.
Yeah, he set up the game afterwards.
He didn't play the first game he came back. I can't remember who y'all played.
Oh yeah, the first game he came back. It was the
game before the Nuggets game. The game before the Nuggets. Because y'all won the Nuggets game because AD played very well, which he's very capable of. But yeah, I mean, this is the first time I haven't seen man, Bron kind of hurt.
Bron been looking good. Bron been looking good. His ankle hurt. His ankle
that one highlight. Now he looked good.
Right.
One highlight. Did you see
the Schroeder through the dunk?
Did you see the where he went around the dude? It was
You should have heard Jimmy
on the baseline.
He throwing lobs to Andre Drummond. He throwing look, it's amazing. This is like
all right. Y'all gotta cut that out, man.
Just wait on it, man. It's playoff time. Y'all gonna get to see Bron come alive.
We've been waiting, man, because it's been sunny and sunny.
It dropped 24-8 the other day.
Because I heard a storm was coming.
All right, y'all.
You know what they used to say in church? There's a storm out.
Y'all keep it up
on the ocean.
It's gonna come, and then see that you're gonna be like, dang, Bron.
I've been waiting.
Bron done got these boys to the finals again. And it's gonna be
fellas. Go ahead, Harper.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead. You about to say something. I know you about to say something.
So something that, again, we was talking about, Bron, y'all really dodged the real bullet already. And that was the Blazers not losing. Because if y'all had went to that 6th seed, that means now tell me you fit. Now, Bron is not going to be 100% in these playoffs. Imagine if he had to win.
He said he'll never be 100% again. So
he did say that. Now imagine if he had to chase around Paul George and Kawhi and have Kawhi and Paul George guard him for an entire playoff series, just 2 games back after being off for 2 months.
Chasing around Kawhi. Kawhi don't run around.
Okay, well, he don't run around, but I mean, Kawhi will put 40 on him. He can put 40 on him. Paul George can too. I seen Paul George put 40 on him. I've seen that. Yeah. And that was prime LeBron.
Well, LeBron ain't gonna guard them. He gonna be guarding Rondo, some rookie.
We're gonna be guarding Batum, but at the end of the game, if Bron need to step up to the challenge, he gonna do it, man. He tough. Y'all act like Bron one of these soft guys.
I mean, if he don't, y'all gonna have plenty of excuses ready to go anyway. So he might come out here with a cast on again. Anything is possible.
They already got their excuses ready.
He really did hurt his head. I can show you video. I can show you video of when he was leaving the game. The last game was a game 4, and he was dapping everybody up with his left hand. With whatever hand it was left hand, he was dapping everybody up, and he had his hand. You could tell he was hurt. And then after game 1, you can ask anybody I know. I said, "Yo, something wrong with Bron because he was making all the shots that he was making. They weren't going in."
And then he passed.
Y'all say he a pass first, but he got the most 25 points per game, more than Michael Jordan, more than Kobe Bryant, more than Kevin Durant.
He done played twice as long.
And still ain't got more rings than them. Still ain't got more rings than them.
I
wish I had a Scottie Pippen. Shoot.
I mean, you had Hall of Famers. You had a Dwayne Wade. You had a Dwayne Wade. You had Chris Bosh.
I wish I had a GM like Jerry Colangelo that could get me, build a team around me.
You had Pat Riley.
I had a head coach. Don't give me that. Pat Riley ain't Jerry Colangelo. Don't do that. Don't disrespect Jerry Colangelo.
Why he not?
He not.
Pat Riley has been ahead of some.
So y'all give Michael Jordan all this credit, but you don't want to give Jerry Colangelo for putting the team around him. You don't want to give him credit for
When did Colangelo win?
He found Scottie Pippen.
What did he win when Mike left?
Well, what did Mike win when he left Jerry?
He retired.
He went to the Wizards.
That was some years later. He was 40. Come on.
I want to see your king when he's 40, when he playing with his son, who y'all swear going to the NBA. That's gonna be the main red clauses. We're gonna see LeBron play there.
Bryce going to the NBA.
Yeah,
No, he not.
LeBron James.
Let him start on his team now, and then we'll talk about the NBA.
You're right.
We gotta wrap this up, man. We gotta wrap this up. We can go all night.
I ain't got nothing to do with Brian kids.
Go all night. But fellas, people, make sure you subscribe on the YouTube. Make sure you like us And if you leave a comment, make sure you go to our Twitter, go to our Instagram, leave some comments. Let us know what you think. If you want to come on the show, you're more than welcome to sit in the hot seat and talk to us. Give us some topics. We got a lot of different topics that we gonna pretty much cover coming up. But the playoffs is here. NFL gonna be starting soon. College football gonna be starting soon. So it's gonna be a whole lot of things. So
if you have some flowers, you want us to, somebody you think deserves some flowers, let us know, man.
Send it to me, man.
Yeah, send it to any of us.
Yeah,
we'll see if we agree, and we'll put it up there, man. Let us know.
Social media is active now.
It's active.
Let us know.
So we got to make sure.
Too, we need to potentially, fellas, think about recording this coming week. Just because it's playoffs.
I was thinking that.
I'm excited. You know what I'm saying? I feel like, I don't know if International Jones has time, but we'll see.
We'll talk about it after.
We'll try to make something happen. But episode 4 in the books for Harper for Me's. I'm D. Cheston. Talk to y'all next time. Peace.